Hello and welcome to the Film Mavericks podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Bunch, and today we are talking about building a YouTube channel. I'm excited because I know this is something that as filmmakers, it's sort of like this elusive idea. We see these people, we follow different channels, and it's sort of like a mystery to a lot of us, I think, of how these people pull this off and how to grow an audience and how to have fresh new content on a regular basis. And it's something that we're trying to do ourselves. We're about to really beef out this channel in a big way. Actually, by the time this goes live, we will have been attempting for a few weeks to get this YouTube channel off in a pretty big way. You'll have seen that with the massive amounts of videos that we will have posted by the time this is live here. But I wanted to talk to someone who has been doing this for a while. So we're bringing Andy Slye on today. Andy is a wedding filmmaker, but also a YouTuber. He's been YouTubing for 4 years and grown a six-figure audience there on YouTube. He's also a really talented wedding filmmaker, and he's created some videos that have gone viral that have produced some pretty amazing results, including being gifted with two Tesla Roadsters. Holy freaking crap. Andy Slye, thanks for coming on today, man.
Thanks, Jordan. I appreciate it. Yeah, those I swear if I come through Texas, I will give you a ride in one of the Roadsters.
Yes. Oh man. We have some pretty sweet tracks around here. I'm working out some connections because we have weirdly found ourselves in the thick of the auto industry somehow. It sort of happened by accident with our corporate work. And so I have some pretty interesting connections that may even get us access to some epic racetracks. So I think that's what we should plan for. You need to plan a road trip.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, heck yes. Yeah, that's the plan. I plan on doing a little mini road trip, and I'm going to give free rides to the first 55 people that use my referral code, and
nice.
I haven't picked the five. It's 5 cities. I haven't picked the 5 cities yet, but I have a feeling it's going to be close to where you are.
Nice.
So yeah, we'll definitely have to plan something out for that.
Austin's definitely a big city for Teslas, and we have the Cadillac of Formula One racetracks here in Austin, Circuit of the Americas. So I think we got to try to pull this off.
Yeah, I'm not a car guy, so I had no idea. So, but like the only cars I know about are Teslas. So that's really cool. I did not know that.
Yeah, no doubt. I actually, fun fact, I got to ride in a Ferrari 458 around the Circuit of the Americas track with an incredible race car driver. That was a once in a lifetime experience.
Wow, that's nuts. Like, who was it? Was it like somebody that
you wouldn't know them. I mean, they're into like Formula One. She was the safety car driver, which means like she goes around the track before everybody else and kind of sets pace and that kind of thing. And it was cool because after we went around the track, the guy like told her like, "Oh wow, good time," you know. So like, I got a real experience of it because she went hard, and it wasn't just me sort of thinking she was going hard. Like they told her she had a really good time. So,
so it's just so much. She's so much of a professional driver compared to like us. Then,
yeah, exactly. And the other thing too was, like, I didn't know a whole lot about cars at the time either. And as we were getting ready and getting into the car, there were several guys that walked by with their like racing suits and helmets, and they're like admiring her car, and they like commented like, "Oh wow, that's a nice car." It's like, oh, well, if these guys say that that's a nice car, then I know I'm about to be in for a real treat here. So I had to put on the full helmet and everything, and I think I brought a Lumix GX85 with me. It's like the really small one. And so I like did some filming in there. I did some selfie shots and made this cool little 1 minute video. That was pretty fun.
That's awesome. Is that part of the Film Mavericks, or is that just something you did personally?
Yeah, it's something I did a long time. I'll probably post it on the channel at some point and make a reference to it. But I did it like a few years ago. But yeah, that was pretty amazing.
I wonder how it'll stack up to the Roadster ride.
Yeah, dude, that's gonna be an amazing experience, no question.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the tires.
Yeah,
how many tires I'll have to put on that?
You're gonna eat some tires up, no question.
Yeah, that's okay. It's worth it.
So I definitely want to hear that story, but we're going to make people listen a little bit longer before they get the gold of the story of how you were given two Tesla Roadsters, $500,000 worth of cars. But I want to first tell me a little bit about yourself and kind of how you got started and what you're doing.
Yeah, so I mainly run a tech channel on YouTube. Started it years ago. My first ever YouTube video was I had a comedy channel, stupid comedy sketch channel back in the day. I think that's what every YouTuber's start was, like this dumb comedy sketch channel. But yeah, I started doing those, and at the same time I started doing just screencast tutorial videos. I really enjoyed technology, and I've slowly built that channel. That has become my main focus as far as YouTube goes. Is my it's under my name, Andy Slye, and I do tech videos over there. I started getting into cameras and stuff probably around 2013, 2014, and learning more about cameras and how to use them. I followed MKBHD and some other popular tech YouTubers, and that's how I got into videography, because I started learning more about cameras and video, and instead of just doing your typical, screen recording tutorials, I started actually getting on camera and learning about the camera. So I started filming weddings in summer of 2015. So I do that as well. And that's, of course, how I found Wedding Film Academy, and now, which led us into Film Mavericks. So super excited about Film Mavericks has coming up. But yeah, you've helped me a lot along the way for wedding films, and I still enjoy doing that as well. But I really have a passion for technology, and especially YouTube. And I still have a 9-to-5 job, which I plan to quit this year and go full time with YouTube. Nice. So yeah, we're going to kind of be in the same situation as far as building our YouTube channels this year. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, it's been super exciting doing the Tesla videos. I still can't believe that I've won 2 Roadsters. It's pretty surreal to me. I still won't believe it till I see them.
That is really insane. And those are supposed to be delivered in 2020. Is that the plan?
Yeah, it's supposed to be. Yeah, we all know Tesla. It might be 2021. It could be 2030. Who knows? But yeah, we'll see. I have a long wait, but also I have enough time to save for the taxes, because I think I will have to be paying a handsome amount in income taxes on those. But yeah, I'm not complaining. I mean, it's a Roadster, so I'm gonna have some fun with this on the YouTube channel for sure.
That is awesome. Okay, so tell me about your journey from like the YouTuber who was just like interested in sort of the, you can talk about the comedy thing if you want to, or just the start of the tech channel, who was really just kind of in it for the technology, and then you transitioned at some point from just interested in technology to also interested in cameras and filmmaking. And tell me about how all that sort of developed.
Yeah, so I had a passion for technology. I went to school for IT, so while I was in college for IT, that's when I started heavily getting into tech, and listened to Leo Laporte's podcast all the time. I don't know if you remember Leo Laporte, but he was like, that was back before podcasts were what they are now. This was back in 2008, 2007. So I was huge into tech, and I started doing these videos, and because people used to come to me all the time with questions about iPods and Apple, and that's back when iPod Touch just came out, and not everybody had an iPhone, so it was still like new to people. So people would ask me questions. I'm like, well, why don't I just do YouTube videos and about how to do things like tech tutorials, and just give them the video instead of just explaining this every time somebody asked me a question. So as I did them, I got to like, oh, I really enjoyed doing this. I love teaching. I also love entertaining. So my channel kind of came to be a mixture of entertainment and education. So I love, and then that's, when the Model 3 came out, that was kind of like the perfect storm for me, because I knew the Model 3, that was my dream car. And I knew that was the plan for Tesla. They were planning to release this $35,000 mass market electric car. And what got me into Tesla was, I first heard about the Roadster in 2008, but it never occurred to me, like I didn't think that I was ever going to get a Tesla. And then the Model S came out about four years later, and one of my favorite, I think the turning point, which got me the deciding factor for me, like I was like, it decided that I was going to get a Tesla someday, is the oatmeal. if you are familiar with the online comic,
No.
the cartoonist. So the
No.
oatmeal.com, he creates these amazing cartoons
actually, I
and
have.
comics.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So he has this amazing comic about what it's like to own a Tesla Model S, because he had one back in 2012. And after reading that comic, I was just like, okay, that's it. I'm going to get a Tesla. I knew I couldn't afford the Model S, so I was like, it's going to be the Model 3. So I saved up money, and so as I was going along and doing these tech videos, I slowly learned about cameras, and of course I got the GH5, or I got the GH4. That was like my big step up from, I had a Canon T3i, I believe.
Yeah.
And I made the jump to the GH4. And when I did that, that's when I started learning more about cameras and filmmaking. And that's when I kind of started filming weddings. And then I slowly learned more about, audio. There's tons of stuff that goes into video, as you know. And so I found that I enjoyed it so much that, I was like, oh, well, I gotta use this as my main skill set going forward. And of course got the GH5, and that's, I'm using that right now. It's my favorite camera. With the Panasonic, we Panasonic people got to stick together, so there's the Sony family is like the Dothraki, and then like the Canon family is like the Lannisters, and then the Panasonic family is, we're like the Starks,
Yes.
That's how I see it, at least. But no, the videography is so much fun, and getting into YouTube, that's what got me into the whole videography and filmmaking world, and I love it. There's just so much there's so much to experience and learn going forward. That the camera technology is just always progressing, and YouTube is by far the most fun platform to create content on, in my opinion.
Awesome. So at some point along that road too, you also became a filmmaker for hire. You're doing weddings. I don't know if you're doing other events or corporate work at all, but tell me briefly about some of that.
So the first wedding I ever did was for a friend. I did it for free. And then I slowly started charging, and now it's, it's a legit business for me and my wife. She's my second shooter. And we have a little wedding videography business on the side that we try to limit ourselves to one wedding a month. That's our shtick. But yeah, I haven't really done any other like corporate. I haven't gotten into the corporate world yet. I am doing a project for a local apartment complex that is opening downtown. I live in Louisville, Kentucky, so that's opening. So I got that going. It's kind of my entryway into corporate and maybe real estate, stuff like that. So that's kind of a learning experience right now, and it's a very small project. But we are looking forward to getting into the corporate world more and doing more, especially videos for small businesses. We love supporting local small businesses, and I think going forward, doing videography for local small businesses is what we're trying to get into.
Nice. Awesome. So I want to hear more about the journey of building content on YouTube that engages people, and sort of how you've grown an audience from 0 subs to over 6 figures now.
Yeah, so it's definitely a long and hard process, and I'm still very small in the relative terms to YouTubers. I mean, YouTubers these days are. I remember 10 years ago, when one of my favorite YouTubers hit 100,000 subscribers. He was one of the top 5 YouTubers on YouTube with 100,000 subscribers. And when that happened, I was like, wow, that's so crazy. 100,000. I just surpassed 100,000 subscribers a couple months ago, and it was a huge goal of mine. And it took years and years and years. And I am definitely not I don't upload a ton of content. I'm not like the most consistent person in the world as far as YouTube goes. But I do what I do. My strategy is I do videos that I want to do, and I do them as I can do them. As far as if the quality, I take my time, I make sure it's something that I want to do, I finish it, and then once it's uploaded, I move along to the next one. I don't have a set schedule. I know a lot of YouTubers are like, oh, it's consistency, one a week. You have to do at least one a week. That will grow. I mean, you'll definitely see growth, but I feel like if you do videos that you would want to see and that meets your quality standards, and you're constantly kind of learning and pushing and doing something better, like 1% better. I was just watching a video with Thomas Frank. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. If you're doing each video that you do, if you just pick something and do 1%, if you get 1% better at that thing, each video, you'll know over time, over tens, dozens, hundreds of videos, you will end up one day, you'll just be like, wow, I make really good videos. I have a huge following. So it just takes time, and it takes a lot of effort and patience. You're not going to be overnight success unless you go viral. But if you enjoy doing it, I mean, you know more about that. I mean, you know just as much about that than anybody. Is like the process is really where the enjoyment is. I mean, if you don't enjoy the process, you're kind of just going to give up. But yes, you have to enjoy the process. If you enjoy videos, video making, filmmaking, and if you stay consistent over a period of time, you will see growth and see success.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things that Film Mavericks as a company does is build YouTube channels for other people. And so this exercise of me really launching our own channel is just kind of a practicing what we preach thing. But to your point, I was actually having a sales meeting earlier this morning, and I was talking with a guy who he's an entrepreneur in the truest sense of the word. He has 3 companies that are very successful. He makes a lot of money. We actually made a film about his house, kind of a part of this new web series we're going to launch. He's selling this house right now, but it's a $3.5 million house that he built and lived in for a while. And anyways, there's a lot of different ways we could go at it. He's just sort of trying to build a network online. And we talked about the 2 different ideas that we could do. And one of them, he said, well, with this one, I have all the content, and I know it's what people want. But this one I'm really passionate about. I said, well, that's the one we have to do. We have to do the one you're passionate about, not just the one that you think that there's a big audience for and that you have a lot of content that can go. We have to do the one you're passionate about. Otherwise, it's not going to be successful. People are going to see right through it because, people are very aware. They are we're keen to when people aren't being real, and so super important that you be genuine and that you be passionate about whatever it is. Otherwise, it's not going to work.
Oh yeah, and it's totally like you can right off the bat, you can probably tell if somebody like enjoys or is passionate about something. Which I got a buddy who's very successful. He's a businessman and he is an entrepreneur and he's very successful, and he's always preaching, don't follow your passion. That's bad advice. And I could see where he's coming. It all depends on your personality. I think, I probably come from the point of view that following your passion is really good in a way that you will stick to it, if that makes sense. Because that's kind of how, most YouTubers, I think that's how they start and how they continue and how they eventually see successes, because they started with something that they have passion for. It starts with something they love, whether it be a topic of whatever they're making videos about, or just the act of creating videos itself. If you have a passion for that, and that's what the beauty of YouTube, you can have a passion for anything and make videos about it.
Yeah.
So the really the possibilities are endless, and I think the passion is very important.
Well, I mean, and it's one thing, like the whole Mike Rowe thing. Like, you can't always just do what you're passionate about. Nobody's passionate about digging up poop from septic systems.
You'd be surprised.
Well, maybe there is. Who knows? There may be passionate poop diggers out there. But for YouTube, if you're not passionate about what you do, it's going to come across, and nobody's going to want to be a part of that. I don't want to watch that for 10 minutes or whatever, Right. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like there's always an aspect that you are passionate about, whether, you don't have to be, for my friend, for example, you don't have to be passionate about what your business is in, but for him, he's passionate about building the business. He's passionate about the relationships and the employees and the relationships he can build with his employees and customers and clients. The whole building of the business, that's what his passion is. It doesn't necessarily have to be the end product. But if you're in love with the process, that's why I think, with YouTube, if you're in love with the process of video making and video creation, it helps out a lot, because, it gets you excited.
every time you do a video. It's just that whenever you hit that publish button, you get that flush of endorphins, and it's like, wow, like it's a whole, and it doesn't like it's every single video, because you don't know how people are going to respond to your video, and that's the excitement. It's putting your creativity out in the world. I think it's great.
Awesome. So if you were sitting here, and we don't even have to make it it doesn't even have to be a theoretical thing here, because you're sitting here talking to a guy who's like just getting started in the world of YouTube, what's the advice you're going to give to that person, i.e. me, as I'm getting started?
My advice would probably be, each video, make sure you have a specific journey that you want the viewer to go on. And you already know this because you've been filming weddings, you've been filming videos for tons of clients. From the moment somebody sees your thumbnail or reads your title on YouTube, there's an expectation. You have to simply convey what the video expectation is in the title and the thumbnail, because that's all they see at first. Somebody can't watch your video without seeing your title or your thumbnail. So when you're doing a video idea, make sure that before you even start doing it and recording it or planning it and writing the script and all that stuff, make sure you know exactly what the expectation of the video is going to be, and have a title picked out, a specific title picked out that conveys, that explains what the video is going to, what journey the viewer is going to go on. So once they start, the moment they press play to the moment they end, what are they going to learn? What are they going to know after this? What are they going to experience? Is it going to be funny? Like what story is it going to be? It depends on, what you're trying to take the viewer, what journey you're trying to take the viewer on. If you can simply convey that in a catchy title and an accurate title as well, don't get too clickbaity, but also use the marketing tactics that you know of, and also the thumbnail. If it all is accurate but it sparks interest and it conveys what the video is about, that will lead to more clicks, more views, and if, of course, the watch time. If you keep your viewer, if you take the viewer on that journey and the least amount of time as possible, they will like, and they'll hit the thumbs up, they'll share it, they'll subscribe, and your watch time will go up, which eventually leads to your video being share is recommended by YouTube, which is one of the biggest ways right now that people are getting views on YouTube, is through the YouTube homepage and YouTube recommending videos to other people. It's not all about building a huge subscriber base. It's not about that. It's about taking each individual video and making it as best as you can, as far as what you're conveying to the viewer and what they can expect from watching the video.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. So you're basically saying that I should make the title of this video, "How One Guy Won $500,000 Worth of Cars."
Yeah, because you wouldn't be lying.
Exactly.
No, that's the thing. Like, if you're not lying, but you can spark interest, like that's. And I'm still constantly. I'm not the best at writing titles by any means, but that's what I'm starting to learn, especially if I'm starting out right now, because I started out years ago, so it's different. For you, if you're starting out now, it's a lot different than it was years ago when I started building my channel. So, and that's why that's how the way I became the #1 Tesla referrer in the world, all through YouTube videos. And it's not through a lot of YouTube videos. I don't have like hundreds of Tesla videos. I have a handful of very specific Tesla Model 3 videos. And I just try to be as helpful as possible as far as whatever video I'm doing. If, for example, my Tesla Model 3 review video, it's like 20 minutes long, but I went over pretty much everything I could think of and try to put myself in the viewer's position, is like, okay, what if I am considering buying a Tesla Model 3 and I don't really know anything about it? I try to take the viewer on the journey to where, like, okay, I'm assuming you don't know anything about it, so I'm going to explain the features and then explain my experience of having the car, driving it, and how it is. And that video, that helped me become the #1 Tesla referrer in the world. And it's all done through, it was all from my free YouTube videos, all through, like, nothing I haven't done anything else besides that. Like all my referrers came by watching my YouTube videos.
Yeah. So tell me more about those. So you had the one video that was kind of your review. The one I've actually watched all these Tesla videos. I wanted to check them out, but the one that really caught my attention most was the one where you did a Uber or Lyft, whatever it was, experience. Tell me about that. Where was the idea generated from? Was it just like you're trying to get more Tesla referrals, or what were you thinking about?
No, absolutely. It was so weird because that wasn't even on my mind. I wasn't even sharing my code then. If you won't go back and watch my videos back then, I don't mention the code at all in the video. And for those of you who don't know, like every Tesla owner gets their own referral code, and if somebody buys a Tesla with your referral code, they get 6 months of free supercharging, and then the person who gives the referral code, like for me, for example, there's different rewards that you can get the more referrals you get, and the Roadster was one of the rewards. But the Uber and Lyft video. So as a YouTuber, if you don't already know, you eventually find yourself that you have a ton of video ideas archived in whatever, like Evernote. I have an Evernote full of video ideas from dating back years ago. And some of those are just videos I haven't done yet because I just haven't felt like they aren't the best ones to do. And they're not fully thought through. But then, so I had this video idea. Once I got my Tesla, I had this Evernote, and it was titled "Giving Strangers Rides in My Tesla." I was like, this will be a good video. It's going to be a fun video. Because I was like, oh, I would definitely watch that. Because once I got my Model 3, I noticed everybody who rode in it just had these great reactions to it. Because if you've never seen or ridden it or drove a Model 3, it's like once you see it, it's like, whoa, kind of like some of the things about it is just, it's so polarizing in certain ways. But it's just such a futuristic car. So I was like, I definitely got to do this video. So literally all those reactions on that Tesla, like the Uber Lyft video that I did, it's all from within like a 2-hour window. It's every single rider was. I went out on a Saturday afternoon here in Louisville. There was a game day. We had a football game. Florida State was in town, so I was like, I'm just gonna go out and see if I can get people to ride in the Tesla and get the reactions. And my wife was like, that's not gonna work. Why are you doing that? It's just, like nobody's gonna agree to be on camera. Nobody's gonna agree to be on YouTube. I was like, yeah, you're probably right. But I was like, I'll try it anyways. And literally every single person that rode agreed to be on YouTube, and you see him in that video. There wasn't a person that I did not include. That was all from like a random Saturday, and it's just like that was. And I had a feeling it would kind of go semi-viral once I actually finished editing it, because I was like, oh wow, this is pretty good. This is better than I thought it was going to be. Especially like all the reactions. Like I really couldn't have planned it out any better, or like scripted it any better. All the reactions, everybody's real. It's complete strangers. It just made for such a great video. And Elon Musk, of course he liked it on Twitter, and that like made my whole entire year. I was like, oh my God, Elon Musk liked my tweet. So that was awesome. Like a pinnacle. And then Tesla actually tweeted out on their official Twitter account, like a couple of days later after that. And I was like, oh my God, I was at work. I was jumping up and down on the sidewalk. I called my wife. I couldn't believe it. And that was like the pinnacle, like that. Yeah. It was like, I couldn't believe it. Like Tesla tweeted my video. And then like I hadn't, when I did that video, I didn't even share my code to those riders. I didn't even think, it wasn't even a possibility in my mind that I would even get more than one referral. I wasn't even thinking about referrals. Wow. And then I noticed one day that I logged into my Tesla account and I saw like, oh, some people have used my code. Like I've gotten notifications like, oh, I've gotten this free like prize. I'm like, well, this is crazy. So like I couldn't believe it. So as I posted, I was like, well, I'm just going to share my code. I put my link in the description of my Tesla videos. And as soon as I did that, the referrals skyrocketed, and it shows you like just the power of YouTube. Wow. That's all I did. I did it retroactively. I wasn't even doing the videos in the first place. I just did the videos because I wanted to share my experience. I wanted to help people get the Model 3 and know more about the Model 3. And so in doing that, the more value you share, the more benefits that you will see as the creator. If you go in with value in mind first, providing value first, you're bound to reap the benefits later somehow.
Wow. I love that story. That's awesome. And I think like I always hear a lot of YouTubers, I think like Casey Neistat, he mentions this several times when people ask him, he does the Q&A thing. A lot of people ask him about building this huge channel. I think did he hit 10 million subs? I think he's at 10 million plus subs, something
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
crazy. Yeah, I don't know. Exactly.
It's wild. But one of the things I hear him say is like, if you're doing it just for the money, like it's not going to work out for you. Like it's just, he says, I love making movies, and because we see that passion, it's poured out, and you see, you can see when it's not there. And for you, it's just like, this would be fun. This would be helpful. I love tech. I love my car. And this would be a fun experience getting people's reactions to that. And then you were richly, or are going to be richly rewarded for that.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like I went, like if you do, like you said, if you go in like expecting something in return to begin with, that's not how you should go about it. Like I literally, like Tesla, making videos about my Model 3 is maybe the funnest thing I've ever had the pleasure of doing because I got this awesome piece of tech and it's a car and it's like so much fun and I can make videos about it. Like the Model 3 was like the perfect storm for my channel because, it was something that I was very excited about. I was passionate about, and not many people in the world relative at the time when I got my Model 3, I was one of the few tech YouTubers or YouTuber who had the intention of doing videos about it. And, and now, I try to take advantage, of that time that I had, because now everybody and their brother is going to have a Model 3 here in the next couple months or years. So right. I really had to take advantage. So it was really like it was a great time. That's what happened. It wasn't like I just all of a sudden become like, the top Tesla referrer in the world. Like I've built my channel for over years, and it just happened to be that the Tesla Model 3, came into my hands at a good time, and I took advantage and released the videos when I did, and try to help as many people as possible. And and it paid off with the 2 Roadsters for sure.
That's incredible. Tell me more about like the story of like finding out that all this was happening, because at some point you knew that you were going to get 1 Roadster because you hit like the mark, and then the story continued to develop. Tell me more about just the story of finding out you're getting these cars.
So it was crazy because the way that works, like once you hit 10 Tesla referrals, and once you refer 10 Tesla customers, you have so all Teslas have an app. So you have your Tesla app on your phone, and in your app, you have this loot box where you can see if people use your referral code. And in that loot box, a secret level will pop up after 10 referrals, and it'll say, you've unlocked the first secret level. Each referral after that is 2% off a future Roadster. Oh, wow. So that's how that all works. So basically up to 55, like 55 is the number to hit to get a basically 100% off a 2020 Tesla Roadster. So we all kind of knew that if you're in the Tesla like referral community, everybody like knew that 55 was the number. And, going in, when I started getting a few referrals, I didn't even think that it was going to be a possibility. Honestly, I did not even think. I was like, I might get a couple to win a couple cool like little prizes that they give out to like the first 5 referrals. But I was like, there's absolutely no way I can get 55. Like Ben Solins, he was probably the most popular Tesla YouTuber. He's one of the first ones, maybe the first one who actually hit the 55 referrals like last year. And he like, I was like, there's no way, like that just seems it doesn't even seem possible to me. So as I started getting like 1 a day. Oh, like I was averaging 1 a day, and I'm at like 20 right now. Like what's going on? Like this might be a possibility. So I was like, okay, I'm going all in on Tesla Model 3 videos. Like, so I probably burned out my audience a little bit. Yeah. I do apologize to those people, because I'm still like a tech channel. But I went all out. Like they probably got sick of my Model 3 videos, but I was like, I gotta do this while it lasts. Cause the Tesla, the referral program, it has these stages where it ends. It was set to end on December 10th.
Oh, wow.
So I'm sitting here, it's late October. I'm sitting at like, a handful, maybe like 12 referrals or something like that, 15. And I'm like, okay, I have literally 6 weeks, 5 weeks maybe to get 40 more referrals. Yeah. I'm like, well, I'm getting 1 a day. This is possible. So I was like, okay, so I started going all out on Tesla Model 3 videos, sharing my link. And I did this video. It was the Tesla Model 3 guide, what to know before buying. Okay. And it goes back to kind of what I said before. Like, I planned out this video. I knew exactly what a video, I basically wanted to outline everything I knew about all the steps of buying a Tesla, like what you need to know about the Model 3, how to design it and order it, how to prepare for delivery, and what to do like once you take delivery, and like what to expect as a Model 3 owner. And I did that video, published it, and I wanted to put my own spin on it too. That's another thing. Like, there are obviously, like, in this world of YouTube and online content creators, everything is kind of similar. Like, you can't. It's hard to have a unique video idea because somebody has probably already done it. This video that I did was super easy to do. Anybody could have done it, but I kind of put my own spin on it, where I was like, okay, I'm going to show people how to design and order their Model 3 using my Model 3. I actually, because the Model 3 has a built-in touchscreen, it has a built-in web browser, it has a built-in LTE signal. So I was like, I'm going to film myself ordering, like walking through step by step. Okay, this is how you order. These are all the options. And I think that's really what set it off, because people actually saw like me using the Model 3 touchscreen to order a Model 3. It's like, how meta can you get? Like, that's crazy. So I did that, and I actually drove around in my Model 3 during that whole video. I basically did the whole video in my car driving around, so people could feel what it's like to be in my car in the Model 3. And I think that got them excited. When people watch that video, they're like, they're already, if they're watching that video, they're already interested in buying a Tesla Model 3.
Right.
And then watching that video, in my video, I'm like, hey, here's my link. If you want to get 6 months free supercharging, here's the link to order. And that video really like skyrocketed my referrals. It like literally went from, 40 years, in the 30s, 40s to over 100 by Thanksgiving. I was at Thanksgiving, and with my family, I'm like, I'm over 100 right now. So I think I just hit 2 Tesla Roadsters. And that was within like 2 weeks of that video that I posted. And then it just skyrocketed, literally like doubled exponentially. So now like I'm sitting at like 280 referrals, which is,
gosh,
yeah. So it's crazy. They do limit you can only win 2 Roadsters, but if there wasn't a limit on it, we'd be, I'd be like, how many Roadsters? 6 or something
almost
like that.
6.
Almost 6. So, but there's a limit of 2 Roadsters. So I'm really, I can't win anything else. I'm all maxed out as far as I know. But
they ought to pay your taxes for that at least. Jeez.
I know, right? Yeah, that's the thing. Nobody knows. Like, this whole thing is still new. Like, Tesla, they're hard to get a hold of as far as the referral program goes. But
right.
Nobody really knows the details behind it. But Marquez, MKBHD, he just hit his first Roadster. He's on his way to getting his second Roadster. So it's crazy. There's going to be a lot of Roadsters in the hands of YouTubers and content creators. And hey, that's genius by Tesla, because they're putting their brand new Tesla Roadster in the hands of people they already know are creating content. And it just works out for everybody, I feel like. So
absolutely. Yeah, YouTube is going to take over the car salesman's job. I think that's incredible. And I love their innovation, their desire to push that. It's genius, and it makes more space, more room for content creators, like you said. And it's just going to be a kind of self-fulfilling prophecy as it continues to grow that way. So I think the more and more marketers learn a lesson from that, the more opportunities there's going to be for people to create products, to create videos about their products that are something completely different. So that is super cool.
And that's the thing, Jordan, is like the formula that I used to win the 2 Roadsters and become the number 1 Tesla referrer in the world. I've been doing that. I learned that from YouTube, from doing all of my prior videos on YouTube, because the formula is this: you make a valuable video for a certain person, and you share the link to whatever you're talking about. Like if it applies to whatever you're talking about. For example, like affiliate marketing, people have been doing that for years. And you basically, it's all like, that's how a lot of YouTubers make their money. So I basically took that formula. So people can do reviews of like, okay, top 5 socks for North Dakota winters, super specific. People do videos like that all the time, and they share the link. They're like, okay, these are the top 5 socks. Here are the links to these socks. If you want to order them, the links will be in the description below. And for people who are Amazon affiliates, anybody can sign up to be Amazon affiliate. The viewers will watch that video. They want the socks. They click the link, order the socks. Everybody wins. Amazon gets a sale. The buyer gets their socks, and then the content creator gets a little bit kickback to support the channel. And I basically just did that. I was doing that for years. I took that and I just applied it to a car. It's just a bigger, higher scale item. Yeah. But the thing is, everybody's going to YouTube for reviews, and every time I order something, I go to YouTube and like watch a review about it. So that's what people are doing that with cars, and it doesn't matter that it's a $50,000 item or a $100,000 item. If people watch the video and they resonate with it and they like, oh, this is the product I want, there's a link right there. And that's the thing. Like Tesla's one of the only car manufacturer that's doing that gives owners referral links. And so Tesla is built for the new age of content creators, because they're putting their success in their owners' hands, and it's working.
Yeah, that is so cool. Well, what's next? What's next for you, for your channel, for your your video production business? What are you up to in 2019?
2019. So this is going to be a big year. I plan to quit my 9-to-5 job this year.
Nice.
So I'm planning for that, and I've been planning for that for a couple of years. That's that's why you got to build like these side businesses. I think that's super important, especially if anybody's out there still working a 9-to-5 job and they haven't went full time. Don't quit like on a whim. Some people can be successful with that, but I took it like I was like, okay, I want to be able to have a side business that was reliable. So, for example, the wedding filmmaking business, I got clients lined up. It's a stable business. I don't do any like paid marketing. So that's a business that I have set up to where once I do quit my job, I still have that going. Plus, but I want my YouTube channel to be my main focus. So once I quit my job, be focusing on the YouTube channel, more videos that I'm going to be able to publish more consistently and more frequently. And there will obviously be more Tesla videos. The Model Y is coming up. That's the newest Tesla model.
I didn't even know about that.
Oh, yeah, the Model Y. That's the basically hatchback version of the Model 3.
Oh, cool.
That's being announced in March. So one of the referral prizes was actually I got invited to the next Tesla event. So I'm assuming it's going to be the Model Y event. So hopefully I'll be able to go there and provide do some videos about it and get some coverage on that. So more Tesla videos. I'm still a tech channel, more tech videos. But the more wedding films and stuff like that. But the tech videos, I'm really excited to be able to do more tech videos and more videos from my YouTube channel more frequently, and up my quality as well, because I'll have more time to spend on that. So I'm looking forward to that.
Awesome. Very cool, man. Well, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for what you're doing in 2019. I'm excited for you to quit your job and join the ranks of us who get to do this stuff full time. That is well deserved and well earned. So well done, my friend. And,
thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's gonna be. Do you have any tips for me for going? Like you've been doing this for a long time, like full time.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I did a little bit more of that bold thing where about 5 years ago, kind of jumped in full time. Had left my old job, moved to a new city 4 hours away, and just kind of went at it full force. Thankfully, my wife she had a full-time job, but the clock was short because as soon as we moved here, we found out we're pregnant with our first baby girl. So yeah, I've been full-time for 5 years and just kind of jumped in full force and said, all right, I got to make this happen. I got 9 months to
That's the thing. Like when you got when you got a motivator like that, like a human being that relies on you, that's like the best motivator, dude. I can't even, like, I have a cat. I'm like, it doesn't take much to feed a cat. Yeah. But if I had it, like, if you have a baby, it's like, you got to do it. Like, there's no other choice. You got to. So
absolutely.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Now I've got 3 of them. So yeah, I mean, there are definitely full episodes where we kind of dive into that. So I'll leave that for earlier things. So if you're new to the channel, which pretty much everybody is at this point because it's a new channel, you can definitely look back in the archives. We have almost 100 episodes at this point, but most of those are just audio, so you have to check it out on iTunes. But there's a ton of content out there where we talk about this sort of thing going full time. So Maybe I'll send you a link to one of those, Andy.
Yeah, I can't wait. I love when people start these podcasts and channels about other YouTube channels. It's something that, like, I think right now, like, we're still in the wild west of internet, especially like YouTube, because who knows, like, down the line, is the internet always going to be like free and open like this? Like how's it going to change? And like right now, it's like, man, it's just the ability to reach an audience and to upload. Anybody can upload, and especially with the camera technology these days, like upload high quality YouTube videos. Like it's never been it'll never be a better time to start, and that's just awesome. I can't wait to see more videos.
Absolutely, yeah. I think a lot of people, and this is something that I would maybe leave, and hopefully you can echo this, but when I've told some people that, you know, we're starting YouTube channel, or, you know, that we're actually building YouTube channels for other businesses, as you know, part of our business and what we do, a lot of people sort of think, oh, you can still do that? Like, don't you have to already be in it for a while? It's like, no, I think that it's like you said, you know, a few years ago, you know, if you had 100,000 subscribers, you were like the top dog on YouTube, and that's not too long ago. And I think a lot of people think it's maybe too saturated now or whatever. But the truth is, like, the viewership is just going to continue to grow and grow and grow, because people were turning off the TV and, you know, pulling out their phone and watching YouTube instead. So the viewership is only going to continue to grow. This space is still wide open. Like you said, it's the wild, wild west, and there is still plenty of territory to put your flag on.
Yeah. More gold to pan out, I guess you would say.
Exactly. Very cool, man. Well, thanks again for coming on. This has been super helpful. I love the story. I love your journey that you've been on and what you're doing, and pumped for you in 2019.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to 2019, especially 2020. And I think you know why.
Yeah.
Roadster.
I bet. Hopefully. Double Roadsters. Before we leave, what colors?
That is the question. That's the only thing that I don't know right now. That's the.
You know one of them? You got two of them coming. You got to do one in red, right?
I got two coming up. I do plan on selling one of them and using that money to cover the taxes that I'll have to pay on both of them, basically, so break even. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, I have a red Model 3. I wouldn't if you get a chance, just anybody, like, look up the Tesla Roadster and just look at there's probably mock-ups of the colors, but they've been demos of, like, white. The white just looks amazing. The red looks amazing. Black everything looks, all the colors look amazing so far that I've seen. But it's going to
be an amazing car.
Yeah, it's just, oh gosh, it's crazy. But yeah, if you look on YouTube, there's like people doing rides in them, and it's like 0 to 60 in 1.9 seconds. It's quickest production car in the world. So it's crazy.
Insane. That's going to be awesome, dude. Well, I'm pumped for you.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, buddy.
All right, thanks, Jordan. See ya.